students, this is the second lecture of our one-way continuous slab. So students, it is already discussed in our last lecture that what is the difference between simply supported slab and continuous slab. After that, we are discussing about at which step there is a major difference between the continuous slab and simply supported slab. And after that, we are discussing about our step number 1, which is to find out effective depth. So you all know that whenever we have to find out effective depth, we have to find out from page number 37 and page number 38. So this is our first step, which is find out in our last lecture, and after that we are discussing about our second step, which is the effective span. So in the last lecture we are discussing about the effective span and effective depth. So now we are moving further to our third step, which is the load calculation. So students, you all know that we have to find out or we have to design all the structural components per meter length. So in this example, in this slab, we are also design this slab component per meter length. So which loads is to be considered while we have to design slab. So you all know that there is two major loads. First one is dead load and second one is live load. But in dead load, there is also two main loads. First one is sulfate of slab and second one is live and second one is floor finish. Okay. So our first load is dead load calculation, in which there is two loads. First one is sulfate of slab. So how to find out sulfate of slab? So the equation of to find out sulfate of slab is rho, which is the density of concrete, into B into D. Now rho is the density of concrete. B is equal to, we have to find out all the loads per meter length. Okay, so our rho is 25, B is equal to 1, and D means thickness of slab. So your 25 into B is equal to 1 and your capital D is equal to 0.175. So students, after putting all this value, we will get our answer of sulfate of slab is 4.375 kilonewton per meter. Okay. After that, our second dead load is floor finish. But it is already discussed that whenever floor finish is not given in the question, then you have to assume that your floor finish is 1 kilonewton per meter square. But all the loads on slab is to be in the form of UDL. Now, what is the unit of UDL? The unit of UDL is in kilonewton per meter. So you have to convert kilonewton per meter square to kilonewton per meter. Okay. So it is 1 into 1. This one is 1 kilonewton per meter square into 1 meter. So our final answer is 1 kilonewton per meter. Now, in the last lecture, in the last example, we have to find out dead load and live load, and after that we have to summation of all these loads, all the three loads: sulfate of slab, floor finish and live load. But in one-way continuous slab, our dead load coefficient is different and our live load coefficient is different as per IS codal provisions. So we have to find out separate loads. Dead load is separately find out and live load is separately find out. So our total dead load is 4.375 plus 1. So our total load is 5.375. But this 5.375 is unfactored load. So we have to find out factor load with the multiplication of some factor of safety. So what is the value of factor of safety? The value of factor of safety is 1.5. So 5.375 into 1.5, so you will get your answer 8.1 kilonewton per meter. Okay. So students, this is the calculation of dead load. After finding out the dead load, our next second major load is live load. So in the question, it is clearly mentioned that the imposed load. Now, imposed load is already called as live load. So, the value of imposed load is 5 kilonewton per meter square. Now, similar calculation same as the floor finish that in the question the unit of imposed load is in kilonewton per meter square. So you have to convert kilonewton per meter square to kilonewton per meter by multiplying some length. So our final answer is 5 kilonewton per meter. But this 5 kilonewton per meter is also an unfactored load. So we have to find out factor load with multiplication of some factor of safety. So that factor of safety is 1.5. So our factored live load is 7.5 kilonewton per meter. So students, this is the calculation of our step number 3, which is the load calculation. Now, the step number 4 is very most important step. So, our step number 4 is bending moment calculation. So, students, in the question, it is clearly mentioned that there is 3 span continuous slab. So, this is span number 1 having effective length. There is no clear span over here. There is effective length having 3.5 meter length. This is span number 2 having also 3.5 meter effective length, and this is span number 3 also effective length of 3.5 meter. Now you all know that the support of slab is beam or wall. Okay, so this is slab having two support. First support is A and second support is B. This is F. So the support of this slab is B and C, and this is third span. So the third span support is C and D. Okay. So students, you can see that your support is equal to A, B, C and D. This 4 is your support and 3 span E, F and G. Now you all the students are moved to page number 36, in which there is table number 12 named as bending moment coefficient. Okay, so on page number 36 you can see that there is a different moment coefficient of the live load and dead load. So your dead load, you can see that dead load and imposed load, it means live load but it is fixed. So imposed load but it is fixed. So sometimes furniture's load is considered in this type of load. Live load but it is fixed. Okay. So you can see that this is your live loads moment coefficient, and second one is you can see that imposed load, it means live load but not fixed. It means your live load is remain change with time to time and place to place. Okay. So with the help of this table, we have to find out your bending moment coefficient. So this is your bending moment coefficient tables, in which we have to write all these things A, B, C and D. These fours are your support and your E, F, G is your span. You can see that this is the dead load and this is the live load coefficient. Okay. So first of all, we have to move to B, support. So B is your support. So over here there is two moment coefficient. First one is span moment and second one is support moment. Okay. So your B is support. So we have to prefer this table. Now In support moment, there is two cases. First one is at support next to the end support, and second one is other interior support. So students, your A is your end support and your D is also your end support. So B support is just next to the end support, okay, because your A is the end support and B is just next to the end support. So for B, we have to refer this case at support next to the end support. So for dead load, your coefficient is negative 1 by 10, and for live load, your coefficient is minus 1 by 9. Similar calculation for C. Whenever we have to move from right to left, your D is your last support and your C is next to the end support. So the coefficient of C is remain similar, same as B. So this is your support moments. Now E. E is your span. Okay. So you can see that this is written as span moment. So in span moment there is two different cases. First one is near middle of end span and the second one is at middle of interior span. So you all the students are already discussed that this is your end span. This two is your end span. Okay, and E point is at the middle of end span. So for middle of end span, your coefficient is plus 1 by 12 for dead load and plus 1 by 10 for live load. And similar coefficient is for G. So for G, your dead load coefficient is plus 1 by 12 and your live load coefficient is plus 1 by 10. Okay, now the last span is F. You can see that this is your end span, this is also your end span. So this is your interior span. So for F span, your condition is this at middle of interior span. So for this, your dead load coefficient is plus 1 by 16 and your live load coefficient is plus 1 by 12. Okay, so students, this is your bending moment coefficient table. Now you can see that your E coefficient is same as G coefficient, your B coefficient is same as C coefficient, and your F coefficient is remain separate. It means if your coefficient is same, then your bending moment is also same. If your bending moment is same, your PT is same, PT same, then AST same, spacing provided and AST provided. All the calculations are remain same for B point is equal to C point. It means we have to calculate B is equal to C. It means the reinforcement which is provided B is similar as C. And the same calculation for E and G, because you can see that your E coefficient is same as G coefficient. Therefore, in this example, we have to find out only 3 points E, B and F, because E is equal to G and B is equal to C. It means if we have to design for E, B, F, it is also designed for F, C, G. Okay. So students, this is the main difference between the one-way continuous slab and one-way simply supported slab. After finding out the bending moment coefficient, in the next lecture, we have to find out bending moments with the help of these coefficients. Okay, so students, our next lecture, in the next lecture, we have to find out all these bending moments calculation. So you can see that this is E point. So we have to find out E is equal to G. You can see that this is E is equal to G. B is equal to C. So this is your B is equal to C, in which we have to write condition near middle of end span, next to end support, and F. Okay, so F and G, there will be some typing mistake. So G is not over here. Okay, so we have to find out separate for C. Okay, so students, this step is covered in the next lecture. So this is the end of today's session. Thank